Hey everyone, this is Tony, Dungeon Master for D&D Raw, and today we're going to give you a sneak peek over what we've been working on for Season 2. First of all, we'll be running 2 different parties in the world as 2 separate campaigns, both taking place in Ostia at the same time. The groups will be starting on opposite sides of the land, but we'll get more into that and what the campaigns entail in the future. For now, we wanted to present a non-canon one-shot in the world of Ostia with one of the parties that will be in the campaign. So here is a 2-part episode of and sneak peek at the Rumble Squad. So on to the show. With me today are the following players.
Hey, I'm Rachel, and I'm playing Elaine Fox, the human barbarian and Circle of the Shepherd druid.
My name is Chris. I am going to be playing Orc Fireforge. He is a Hill Dwarf Forge Domain Cleric.
My name's Nick. I'm playing Leuven Cromdell, the half-elf alchemist artificer.
Hi, I'm Jane. I will be playing Nissa Turin, the gnome arcane trickster rogue.
So, we'll say for simplicity's sake, you guys have been traveling together for a couple weeks or so, getting to know each other, and you are passing through this very small town. So you're traveling to this tiny little town called Clarkton. And it's later in the evening, so you guys would be starting to look for a place to rest. As you initially arrive in town, you do see several different buildings scattered about, each built of wood and thatch roofing. You see a smokestack coming out of one of the larger buildings in the area, and a sign kind of hanging over it that seems to be a hilt of a sword with almost a jagged lightning bolt coming out of it, symbol hanging from this sign. The town itself seems actually very quiet. You don't notice a lot of people out and about right now as the sun is beginning to set.
Can I make some kind of check to determine if that building is a blacksmith?
As you approach it, you do hear a lot of noises inside, so you can determine that no, this is not a smithy.
Does it seem like the tavern?
It seems like the inn and tavern.
That's
yes.
where that is where Elaine would be like laser focused. Like, guys, drinks. We go.
That sign looks so cool. Let's go in right now.
Nissa, you coming?
Yeah, I'm down. Lead the way.
Oh, I'm on it.
All right. So you walk in, and the floor is made of smooth stone. You notice several large tables scattered about, and a bar with a door behind it leading into what looks to be a small kitchen. As you enter, you see about a dozen different people in here, all kind of eating their meals, drinking. It's a bit talkative, but as soon as you enter, all eyes kind of turn to you for a second as things get a little quiet before they kind of go right back into their meals and about the business. Behind the bar, you do notice an elf kind of cleaning things up, talking to a rather stout woman who is wearing studded leather armor and has a mace hanging from her hip.
Quick question.
Yes.
Metal studs or bone studs?
These are metal.
Okay. I don't want
She does not approve.
Nope.
I am going to walk right up to the bar.
Okay.
Is there empty bar stools, or is it just like a bar you walk up to, grab what you want, and then take a seat?
You see a few stools.
Enough for the whole group, or just like...
You see most of the people in the place are actually at tables. There's only the one woman that's up at the bar, the stout woman that was talking to the elf.
I'm gonna walk right up to the bar and just...
Okay.
So, wherever they're at, I'm gonna go just like a nudge away from them.
Okay.
Close enough so that I can maybe kind of hear what they're talking about, but not close enough to be like, obviously like, hello, I'm eavesdropping, I am listening.
Are you intending to listen, though?
I might try to just listen a little bit, mostly just so that I'll be kind of in her peripheral, so she'll see us and maybe get me a drink.
Gotcha. Okay. So you walk up and sit on the stool. What are the rest of you doing as Elaine starts to proceed straight for the bar?
I think Oric would head to the bar as well and try and hoist himself up upon one of the stools.
Do you need assistance?
Okay.
Nissa's looking across at Elaine like, you would have to pick the bar stools, wouldn't you? Have you noticed how little I am? Gee.
That's right, you guys are all small, aren't you?
Yeah.
Leuven's not.
That's
Nope. fairly short-ish, but still half-elf height. Leuven's going up to the bar and sitting one stool closer to the conversation than Elaine is, and just leaning forward a bit with this big grin. So excited to be here.
I definitely side-eye you, like, what are you doing? Like, no. No. Don't be rude.
Not staring at them, just...
Oh, just in general.
Are you looking about, like, all, like, wide-eyed at everything around, like...
Yeah, eyes sometimes stopping on them. I mean, not ignoring.
Okay, I thought you were, like,
conversation,
staring
but
intently at them.
At moments, they might lock eyes, but he's not staring just at them.
Okay.
But he is
Okay.
staring.
Nissa, are you joining them or attempting to clamber up a stool?
I will attempt to, yes.
I'm going to say you can actually clamber up a stool perfectly fine.
Phew.
It's not your first rodeo, come on.
All right. So initially, Elaine, you get there first. You kind of hear a little bit of whispered conversations, and once or twice, the stout woman who is on your side of the bar just kind of like glances at you guys side-eye a little bit, seems to be taking a look at you. And the elf behind the bar, as soon as you go to sit down, kind of breaks off the conversation and goes up to you as all of you start to join.
Leuven waves once during the side eyes.
You do not get a response. She just kind of has a mug on the counter that she just takes a sip of and seems to be kind of lost in her own thoughts a little bit right now. Briefly, Elaine, as you get a little bit closer, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Ooh, first check.
Roll good.
19 on the die, so...
Nice.
24.
Woo!
Ooh.
Very nice.
Wisdom
All right.
based.
So you catch a little bit briefly between the two of them. Night's falling again. Hopefully no one this time. And from the mail, it's that house. And kind of as, you notice this when they kind of look at you guys a second. Well, they look like they've seen some trouble. Maybe they can help you. And then that's when he breaks off to, hello, what can I get for you? Welcome to the Blade of Lightning.
Ooh. Nice name. We'll have 4 of your, not your strongest, but your tastiest ales.
Very well. At this, he turns around and walks back into the kitchen, and after a few moments, you continue to get the side-eye from the stout woman, who just seems to be looking at you, studying you, and then going back to her drink and just thinking. After about a minute, the elven man comes back carrying 4 mugs and puts one in front of each of you. That'll be a total of 1 silver.
Okay. I, not even, waiting. Elaine will, hand it over to him.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Is there anything else I can get you?
Are you guys hungry? I'm kind of hungry. I'm always hungry, though. No?
I guess I could eat.
I could eat.
Sure.
Okay. What kind of meals do you have?
Well, we have a cheese porridge that we have going right now. We have fresh pork that is quite popular at the moment.
Is it free range?
We have a... What is it?
I'm kidding. I said, is it free range?
Says the druid.
Says the druid.
Yes, we also have a roasted chickens and potatoes to go with them.
I think I'll go with the chicken. What about you guys?
Very well.
I'll have the chicken as well.
I'll go with some porridge.
I'll go chicken, please.
Very well. I will have the cook prep that immediately. And he proceeds through the door. After a couple of minutes, the stout woman kind of turns to you. What brings you through town?
Well, I'm I do handy jobs. I'm pretty good with handy jobs and animals. We're just kind of wandering about looking for some extra work. Nothing too exciting.
Oh, looking for work. Well, I may have a job for you if, I don't know, how well traveled are you?
Have you heard of the Rumble Squad? Leaning forward on one elbow on the bar.
I rolled a natural 20 on.
Yes! Yes! Our first fan, guys.
Achievement unlocked.
Oh, dear.
This is what you're in for, Tony. You signed up for this.
I'm so excited. I feel like I've heard tale of you, dealing with the few odd jobs here and there. Seasoned adventurers, then?
Aye, we travel here and there, taking care of various things. Either blacksmithing work, adventurer work, we kind of handle it all.
Well, I'd be looking more for the adventuring type. We've had a few issues lately. At night, occasionally there are attacks, but we never see from who. And there's rumors that the old mansion down the road is haunted. Wondering if the four of you would be able to take a look and try and figure it out. Whatever thing attack seems to come out only at night. And of course, anybody who's gone to investigate doesn't come back. At first, we only found some livestock slaughtered in the mornings, but then it started going to people.
I mean, restless spirits are kind of my thing, so I could probably take a look. Also, when you say slaughtered, can you be more descriptive?
They were kind of slashed and torn and some eaten?
Is this a new problem you're having, or?
It's been happening on and off for the past month or two. It's not consistent, but it's enough that we're beginning to worry, and the few people that we have sent over to this house don't come back, or they've just been too afraid to enter and just lie about it. I'm fairly confident.
So the ones that you have sent that did go, you said have not
Yes.
come back at all? Or have not been found?
Have not been found.
Okay, so they just go and they poof, disappear. Okay. That's cool. Huh.
This is why the house tends to be assumed it's haunted.
Spirits aren't one to usually, like, not leave a mess because, you know, they're kind of, like, incorporeal. They can't, like, touch things, you know? So...
Incorporeal?
Incorporeal? Is that the right word? Might not be the right word. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Incorporeal?
That one. That's the one. I was just saying it wrong.
Incorporeal?
They pass through things, like shadows. They can't, like, clean up after themselves.
Oh, okay.
It's probably not ghosts.
So, well, I mean, we thought it was just like wolves or something, but
Wolves.
we've seen no tracks. At least none that I could see. And I try to do what I can to protect the town. And she just nods.
Quick question to the DM. Is this where we're at? Is this like an inn and tavern, or is this just
Yes.
a tavern? Okay, so it's an inn and
It
tavern.
is an inn and tavern. The woman, by the way, just to mention, she's human. She's got curly brown hair and is just under 5 feet tall and is kind of, has a bit of a beefy build. She's got the studded leather armor and the mace, but it seems like both have seen very little use.
Okay. And she's kind of hefty.
A bit. It looks like a good deal of it is muscle,
Okay.
but not just.
Can I determine what the quality of her weapons are?
Yeah, roll perception since you're looking at it with proficiency.
Okay.
Or wisdom with your proficiency if you're proficient in perception.
7. I got a 2 on the die.
It looks of fine quality. Nothing too spectacular, but well crafted. Nothing special.
I noticed your mace there. Has it seen much use? It seems to be of sufficient quality.
I mean, it's been fortunate that I haven't had to use this very much. We don't tend to have a lot of issues in this town.
That's good. Weapons are meant to be used. That's why they're forged.
Yes, of course. So, will you help us? I'd be willing to pay you.
I'd be...
How much we talking?
I knew that was
I
going to
had
be
to.
Nissa.
I had to.
I'd say for this type of problems that's been persisting so much, 2 gold apiece.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah?
Throw in a tour of your town, and by my opinion, you've got a deal.
Nissa's gonna look slightly disappointed, but she'll nod.
I suppose we could look into it for that much. Do you happen to have a blacksmith in town, or are you in need in one otherwise?
We don't have a blacksmith. We usually get most of our items through trade.
I see. Well, while we're in town, I can render my services. I happen to be a blacksmith by trade.
How much would you require?
Oh, it depends on the nature of the work. What needs doing, what needs building. I charge a fair rate, and it's all quality goods. You can count on that by Holy Forge Arms.
Nissa's rolling her eyes so hard.
I forgot to mention, but you guys came in on a cart with a donkey, right? Or a mule.
Mule.
Mhm.
There's a mule.
Mule.
and it has a giant logo emblazoned upon it for the Holy Forge Company. My premier blacksmithing.
Do we also have
company.
like Rumble Squad written on it somewhere? I hope.
I think you might have like scrawled it in underneath.
Yeah, it
somewhere
would have been scrawled.
in like a subtext. There's like also offices for Rumble Squad. Yeah.
It should be Rumble Squad sponsored by Holy Forge Arms.
No. I bought the cart. I put the logo on.
So you say, I have mending, sir. I can fix that.
You want to challenge the blacksmith to a make-off?
And I'm a rebel. I've just graffiti it, so no.
There you go.
I'm foreseeing all of the trouble you guys are going to cause me.
Chaos.
Awesome. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we can send people your way for help. There's not too much need we've had for a blacksmith, but we could always use something, I'm sure. And I'm sure someone will give you a tour of the town. What are your names?
I be Orc Fireforge.
I'm Elaine.
Very good.
And I'm Leuven Cromdell. Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Leuven.
Nissa, hey. What's up?
Does Nissa throw
pleasure.
a peace sign? I feel like she's throwing a peace sign like, hey, sup.
I kind of did.
See through a peace sign up.
Like, hey, peace.
It's like, oh, that gesture means something totally different around here.
Oh my. No.
Leuven's already going for the handshake.
And she shakes her hand. Excellent. Well, so we've heard, the noises and had the issues at down the road at the old mansion. No one's lived there in years. So yeah, it's just down the road, and like I said, no one's lived there in years. But hopefully, you'll be able to find something.
Quick question.
Yes.
Earlier, you just said that people went in and were disappearing, and you found like some slaughtered animals and things. Now you said you're hearing noises. What noises exactly are you hearing?
The few people that come back say that, they've dealt with the threats, and when they arrived, they heard scratching sounds, a chittering sound, and I don't know, like almost a language? Something? It sounded like some sort of clicking and clacking, but I don't know how much to believe them.
Can I make some kind of like a nature check to see if what they're describing sounds any bit familiar to like some kind of known animal or creature?
Go for it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's a nature?
Yes, you can all roll a nature check if you want to.
Oh, I'm so
make
good
an
at
attempt
these
at this.
guys.
Chris,
I got a 3.
Rachel,
19.
Jane,
14.
Nick.
21.
Okay.
Nice.
There's our int character.
Hey.
The type of sounds they describe definitely sound like it's maybe some sort of insect-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
Clicking and clacking, it's potentially, without having any more description other than the sounds that they've heard and that makes, it could be some sort of, the best you can get is some sort of like insect-like creature or a creature that moves about on sharpened like talons or something like that.
Bugs. This is definitely an extermination job.
Well, not necessarily. We could just use some repellent. Maybe just get them out of there.
I can make that.
Says the druid.
Make a fumigation potion.
Is it sad that I feel like that's going to be your catchphrase at some point? Says the druid.
Says the druid.
So, I know you say that no one's lived in this mansion for quite some time, but do you know the history of the mansion? Who built it? Who used to live there?
I don't remember the name of the family, but, they lived there for years. They built themselves up. I think they were merchants mostly, but then one day they weren't there anymore.
Don't suppose I could try a history check to augment?
You can try.
Alright. 13.
This is a very small town. You haven't really heard anything.
Fair enough.
So, as you guys are having this conversation, eventually the elven man kind of comes back. You see him balancing 4 different plates on his arms as he starts to set the food in front of all of you and says, I hope you enjoy.
Looks fantastic.
At that point, he kind of starts to go from the different tables, realizing he hasn't actually checked on his other patrons in a bit.
They don't matter. It's okay.
We're the PCs here.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Everyone else is just immaterial, really.
They only exist when you interact with them.
Mhm.
What is this object permanence you speak of?
So you said it's getting late, though, in the afternoon/evening, like it's dinner time.
It's dinner time. The sun hasn't set yet, but it is setting.
Okay. Maybe after we eat dinner, we should go over and, like, scope it out before it gets too dark, and then check it out while it's dark.
I guess as these attacks have been happening at night, yeah.
I mean, are you afraid of the dark? You're not afraid of the dark.
Who, me? Are you kidding? Girl, please.
Can you even see in the dark, human?
We've gone over this. I don't have to stay a human to see in the dark. And Leuven, any objections?
Reconnaissance. I love it.
All right. So it sounds like we're all on board to get spooky critters out of the house. Bum, bum, bum. The Rumble Squad.
Rumble Squad.
I feel like we all just, like, whisper Rumble Squad awkward moments. Like,
This will happen.
It's all about
Probably every
branding.
episode.
Or Oracle just mutter under his breath, Rumble Squad.
All right. So the woman then will, well, thank you so much. I mean, if you need me, I'll be around the town. But if you need me, I'll be around town. I'll leave you to your meals and to deal with this. And thank you.
do you live in town?
Oh yeah, I'm a house just a few streets over.
Okay, so we know where to find you. You know, worst case scenario is probably at home.
Most likely, depending on how late you are. I tend to patrol when it starts to get dusk.
Okay, so I would like to do an insight check on her.
Go for it.
20 total.
Okay, so what you can basically tell, given her demeanor, is she's terrified of this house and doesn't want to go anywhere near it. You also see she does have a bearing of some form of authority, but it seems like she wants to do as little as possible.
Okay, so keep her hands clean kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Why don't you just, go home for the night, relax. We got it covered. I mean, we are professionals at this. And I'm like kind of hamming up, doing the like, maybe a slight wink, like, we're professionals. We got this.
Dramatic thumbs up from Leuven.
I mean, if you all are sure, I don't want to put more work on you than I already requested.
Well, I mean, we're going to be going over there anyway, so it's not like it's really more work. Unless there's something that you're leaving out.
No, I was just going to be patrolling the town.
But you said you don't patrol too late, so,
Well, I mean, it's not quite night yet.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No, of course not. It's not the dark.
It's what's in the dark. Got it. I get you. I understand that. You should get some torches.
You kind of see she reaches into her pack and pulls one. I have them with people missing, at night. It's not safe out.
Mm-hmm. I know. It's cool.
So if you all don't need anything else, I will then leave you to it.
Cool.
And she starts to turn and hop off the stool and begins to leave.
Bye.
Did she actually give us her name?
Nope.
Nope.
Or did you ask?
We didn't know.
Okay. Just making sure. Trying to figure if I was just spacing out or if...
Yeah, I just
we
thought
were
about that
just
too. I was
rude.
like,
I was being super careful not to say the name because she hasn't actually given it yet.
Bye, Felicia.
How'd you know her middle name?
I knew it. I'm so good at this, guys. That insight.
Insight check.
Yep.
So-
The
so
surname's
good at
Quest
this
Giver, right?
Yeah.
For now, yeah. All right. So I assume you guys sit there and enjoy your meals?
Question to the DM. As I'm enjoying my porridge, can I use my alchemy kit to try and create a fumigation vial?
A fumigation vial.
It's the technical term.
It's a stink bomb, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
Is there any way I could assist with my druidy, naturey-ness?
Yeah, you can help them
Maybe
out.
like,
As you're like
Yeah.
eating some food.
it's spiders, you want peppermint. Spiders hate peppermint. But if it's ticks, then we definitely don't want peppermint. They like peppermint. So maybe you got any like anise? Any of that? Like star anise? Like, yeah. Mind you,
yeah,
everything is herbal that I'm talking about too, by the way.
I've got a few of those things in limited quantities. Yeah, I can use that. Yeah.
All right, Nick, go ahead and roll an intelligence check with proficiency and advantage because you're using your alchemy tools.
Okay, plus I have expertise in that.
Yep.
Alright, advantage, cool. 21.
Nice. Okay. So you have, fortunately, not stunk up the entire tavern and contained it all. So you were able to create a small vial, stoppered it, and the liquid inside. As you were forming it, definitely smelled something vile.
In the vial.
Yep.
In the
Leuven has this grin on and just kind of sloshes the liquid around a bit. Is it like a moldy, greenish, bubbly kind of liquid?
It's got a thick consistency to it with a dark greenish brown color.
Perfect. This will do nicely. I pocket it for now.
Nissa's gonna push her plate away and be like, well, that's put me off the rest of my meal. Cheers. Thanks, lovey.
Oh, thanks. Here, yeah, I'll finish that. I grab the plate.
You have to fight me for it. I'm just kidding.
I assume Auric is not put off by the smell at all.
Nope. He is indifferent to anything of a poison variety.
Yep.
And probably used to Leuven's shenanigans by now.
Oh yeah, this was a successful attempt. There have been unsuccessful attempts of
Yes.
potion creating inside of the cart before.
I'm probably just like indifferent, like, it's not pleasant, but whatever.
Okay. So you have a vial of repellent ?
Repellent something. Some kind of repellent.
Okay.
That may or may not work. It will do something.
May or may not be helpful.
Exactly. All right. So you all, except for Nissa, finish your meals. What would you like to do next?
Reconnaissance! Rumble Squad!
So you're heading to the house?
I would like to head around the house, not like, so I want to scope out, I think I would like to scope out kind of like see the house, but then also like kind of the area around the house too.
Okay.
Specifically, I would like to eventually do some like survival and or nature style checks to see if I can see anything that has come or gone.
Gotcha.
Is this house made of stone?
This house is.
Oh.
So as you guys approach, you do see a low, worn stone wall that surrounds a 2-story stone building. The center of which is a large yard with, you can see off in the distance, what seems to be a small stone well, as well as a couple of what look to be wooden stables out in the yard. However, everything initially looks like it hasn't been used in years, as vines and tall grass seem to just overrun the place from the outside.
Can I make a history check about this domicile and the nature of the stonework that encompasses it? Like, the style, like, oh, I know that this was done in late elven style, and they enjoyed putting in trapdoors in their houses.
Okay.
Something like that.
Go ahead, and Elaine, you wanted to circle the area.
Mm-hmm. So would that be nature or survival?
Survival, because you're specifically looking for things. Okay. And then Nissa and Leuven, are you doing anything while they're investigating this really quickly?
After the others have already gone ahead a bit, I'm going to move up at least as far as behind the well. If they've passed that and nothing has occurred.
Okay, so after they've done their initial checks.
Yes.
Gotcha. Nissa?
I think Nissa will follow. I think she'll follow Leuven across to the well and take a peek in that direction.
Okay.
And I will attempt to stealth once I get there, I guess, just to hide behind it.
So I rolled utter garbage.
Me too.
For my stone history check.
All right, so we'll go with utter garbage number 1, Auric.
Total of 5.
Okay, mine's not that utter garbage.
Do you get double proficiency for this?
I did. That is including my double proficiency.
What did you
Fail?
roll?
A 1. I rolled a natural 1. I have now exiled that die. It knows what it did.
Crush it.
Okay,
Oh.
Bailey.
Crush it and make the others
Okay.
watch.
Let's resolve that real quickly then. You look at the stone. It is some solid stone put here a long time ago.
It's some stone. Cool.
I see.
Good story, bro.
Elaine, what'd you get on your survival?
Not utter garbage, but just garbage. A 10.
Okay. Looking around, you can tell that there have been several animals that have traveled around here lately, but it seems also specifically animals don't go towards the mansion. You notice kind of like almost a stopping point. Like they'll kind of get closer, but then circle around or go in different directions. For some reason, it seems you notice no tracks other than humanoid tracks leading towards the actual mansion.
Humanoid tracks?
I say humanoid for the sake of just because the woman mentioned to you that people kind of went in to check it out.
I'd like to focus on these humanoid tracks a little bit more. Is there...
All right, roll a nature check for them.
Okay, nature check.
What do you? Is there anything specific you're trying to determine?
So I wanted to see if I could determine how old they are, as well as if they maybe perhaps are around the same size as a certain somebody that we've maybe already met.
Okay.
Not naming names.
Not naming any names because we don't know her name. That's a 4.
Few people came through here.
Yeah.
Okay, we have the quantity. That's great.
A few?
You have a quantity.
A few.
Of varying times
Ah.
and sizes,
Okay.
but they were people.
They had feet.
They had feet. They walked on the feet.
But both of you would be fairly confident that you might a little out of it today, but you think you're pretty secure.
Maybe the chickens were poisoned.
So, Leuven, Nissa, are you moving up to the well then now?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
And you said, Leuven, you wanted to stealth. Nissa, are you stealthing as well?
I'll stealth as well, yep.
All right, go ahead, roll me stealth.
This is gonna go great with my disadvantage due to my armor. So,
Ooh, snap.
have
What
fun.
armor are you wearing?
Scale mail.
I forgot about that. Cool. Okay.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
So, Leuven,
8.
Nissa?
21.
Nissa, you don't make a sound as you rush up to the side of the well. Leuven?
Perfect.
All the way up.
All your vials are like clinking and clattering as you're like running up with your backpack on.
Auric, Elaine, you see one of your companions move up to the well.
Oh, we know which one.
So, you guys get up to the well. You notice there is a rope tied to the center of it, but it seems like it's frayed and torn away, and there's nothing leading down into the well.
Do we notice anything else about the well? Anything stand out?
Looking down, it's deep. It's really hard to see. You think you can tell a little bit maybe of water at the very bottom?
So, from our my so stealthy position
Uh-huh.
at the well, do I get a good view of like the house? Like, I assume the front door is closed and probably locked or something?
Well, you see it's closed.
Okay.
It is a large, thick-looking wooden door.
Okay.
We could just walk up, guys.
Well, before we go in the house, I'd like to do some things just to make sure in case there is some danger.
Okay. Like what?
So what I would like to do is use my Blessing of the Forge ability.
Okay.
It allows me to either imbue a non-magical weapon or armor with some magic, and it either gains a +1 AC if armor or a +1 attack and damage rolls if it is a weapon. So I would like to imbue my armor. So
With your ridiculous 19 AC.
Yes.
Curse you.
So you watch as Auric's hands begin to glow with white light. I'm assuming you have your symbol of your deity on your shield?
Oh, and on my armor. It's like emblazoned
Gotcha.
It is all over.
everywhere. I say a prayer to Yadumin. So that's one of the things I would like to do. I would also like to cast Detect Magic as a ritual, just to see if there is, in fact, anything shifty going on around the premises.
Okay. So you are going to be taking about 10 minutes as you begin to focus on the spell. As your armor glows for a brief moment with some divine light and then settles, you see the runic symbol on your armor now to show that it has been enhanced. You begin to gather yourself and focus on Detect Magic. What would the rest of you like to do as he's focusing on Detect Magic for 10 minutes?
10 minutes? Oh.
Nissa, Leuven, what would you like to do?
Could I go take a peek in the barn? See if there's anything of interest in there? Is it a barn you mentioned or a stable, something like that?
Yeah, there's stables off to your left, and it seems like the doors are open to this, and they're pretty worn and torn out, and it looks like there's a small barn there.
She'll just go peek her head round, just take a very quick gander, see if there's anything of any interest that might be in there.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Yep, no, it's an 8.
Looking around, you see some horseshoes, like a little bit of Brits and brittle, and some really old feed. Doesn't look like anything of particular interest here.
Okay.
Leuven?
I'm gonna place an alarm spell right by the outside of the door to the house. And that's a 20-foot cube, so 20 feet out in every direction, I think. Yeah. I'll cast one right by the outside of the front door. If we hear something, it'll be the sound of a handbell.
Just like a little diddling.
Yep.
Okay. I decided what I would like to change into. May I change into a giant wolf spider?
Oh.
Okay.
I selected very
Giant wolf
carefully for
spider.
a good reason.
Yeah, I was actually looking at that one earlier too.
Okay. So I selected this because it has 40-foot movement as
All
well
right.
as 40-foot climb.
So, Elaine, and it's a medium creature.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is going to sound
Horrifying.
even creepier. Suddenly, extra legs sprout from her sides. Your arms actually grow long, sharp pointed hairs, and you go down, and I would say on all fours,
But now all 8.
but on all eights,
And take off.
as large mandibles form around your face and many, many eyes.
So many eyes.
So many eyes. You guys hear the equivalent of like giggling as I go chittering by.
A giggling spider. That is the stuff of nightmares.
You're welcome.
Leuven's grinning from ear to ear, like, blending in. Very nice.
Yeah, blending in. A giant spider.
Blending
in.
At a medium-sized creature, which is at least 4.5 feet tall,
Oh.
and just
Yep.
scuttles off through the grass faster than she can normally
Yep.
move.
So, with this, I do have blind sight for 10 feet, dark vision
Nice.
for 60 feet.
Okay.
So, and I want to just basically do a quick reconnaissance, like around the perimeter of the house to see if there's anything, outside. If I can, I would like to crawl across the wall as well. Just like, hey, guys, watch.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Perception check? Okay. Oh,
Oh.
Give a +3.
nat 1.
Oh.
So 4.
Did you borrow my dice?
No. I'm just
So
too
as
excited
Elaine
to be a spider.
scuttles off, kind of focusing on running from the stone wall back to the wall of the building, back to the stone wall, just going back and forth and looking and looking and looking. It's really fun to walk on walls.
Yeah.
And you circle the building and you realize you haven't seen anything.
Okay. I would go scuttle, kind of over by Leuven and the well and just be like, tick, 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 like waiting.
She waves one of her legs at you.
I will do a handshake with a leg. Or no, a high five.
Yeah.
Okay. So you raise your hand and a somewhat spindly leg kind of like quickly smacks your palm.
In a whisper, Rumble Squad.
Yep, that is the response you get. That's exactly the response you get. So, what would you guys like to do? So, Leuven now has set the alarm. You've kind of looked around. By about this point, I would say, Auric, by the way, that your spell goes off.
All right. Can I look around and see if I see any auras?
Go ahead and roll a perception check on top of this, just to add a little bit to it.
Okay. 22.
22.
I got a 19 on the die.
Okay. You notice the alarm spell that Leuven has cast, but you notice there seems to be, fortunately the door is not very thick, but you notice that there is an aura coming from beyond the door.
Yeah, and I would like to study this aura that I am seeing.
You do see what appears to be an abjuration spell aura coming from just beyond the door. Roll me Arcana.
All right. So I'm going to have to exile this die as well.
Really?
It is a 1.
Oh, no.
Okay. It is an abjuration spell.
All right. So I am going to relay that to the party. It's like, I see something on the other side of the door. It looks to be an abjuration spell in origin. So it looks like there may be some substance to these rumors after all.
Quick question to the DM.
Yes.
Are there any windows?
I'd almost make you roll for it, but there was a brief moment where you realized as you were running on the left side of the house, your foot hit glass, and that must be where a window is.
Okay.
You also know that there's a door to the back of the house.
Okay, with my little spidery arms, I'm gonna, wave to get my party's attention, because I can't talk now.
I'd say it takes a minute as, Oryx looking at these different auras.
And
Not a master of spider
if they're
charades.
still not looking, I'll poke them with my little spider leg. And then in the dirt, I'm gonna draw a little window symbol. Jeez, I can't talk.
So you're drawing a square and then two
With
lines
a
through
little
it.
cross through it, what a window would look like. And then I'm gonna point
Window.
around the house and then start scuttering in that direction.
Do we need to make some kind of insight check to figure out what she is charading? Or do we just
I'm
kind
going
of
to say you
figure
see
it
her
out?
draw a window on the ground and then scuttle off after pointing with one of her legs in that direction.
Window, point, and then I take off in that direction.
Before she goes, Leuven does say, remember, abjuration protects things, so it might go off when we go in.
Well, maybe we shouldn't go through the front door. We can go check out this window that our spidery friend is now gesturing to.
And as you're saying that, Leuven, because she's walking off already, you see one leg kind of wave back yeah, whatever.
She understands you perfectly fine. You just can't understand her.
I feel like he gets the gesture. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that very, flippant whatever, boss.
All right. So is everyone following her?
Yes, and I would like to be maintaining the concentration on my detect magic so that I can see if I see any new auras or anything as we're walking around.
Okay. So you're still focusing. As you you realize as you get an angle away from the door where you don't see it anymore and you only see stone, the aura that you saw in that area goes away as the stone is blocking your detect magic. Circling around, you do get up to the window, but you detect no magic there.
No magic in that vicinity.
Even looking kind of through, you're looking around. You said 30 feet.
So, I'd be going, up to the window and kind of...
Okay.
looking.
Once you get up to the window, you do see the aura again coming from the area by the front door.
Okay, can I tell if the aura is in a shape of, something small, medium,
The aura
large?
seems to encompass about 20 feet on a side.
20 feet on a side?
Yeah. That seems to cover 20 feet going one way and 20 feet another way.
Okay.
Kind of an almost like a cubish shape.
Ah. That it appears to be right by the front door.
Yep. Just to mention really quickly, you can also see Leuven's alarm spell on the other side of the door. Now that you can see from this distance. Just barely.
So the two spells are overlapping in aura.
You see two different spells that seem to be overlapping in the aura.
Okay,
But
so it is two different things. I'm not
Yes,
just
you are
seeing
seeing
bleed
two-
over from his spell into the house.
No, you are
Okay.
seeing two different spells because outside you saw where his spell extended to, but inside this seems to be farther.
Gotcha.
And even though they're overlapping, the alarm bell is not going off?
Nope.
Okay.
Not that you can tell. Or
All right.
your alarm spell? No, because a creature must enter the area.
Okay.
The window is closed.
Okay, can I test the window to see if it's unlocked?
Do we want to check for traps first, maybe? Before we do anything else?
I suppose.
So, Auric, you start to go up and are about to grab the window when Nissa says that, and you back up.
Quick question, DM. Was this a one-story or two-story house?
It is 2-story.
It is two-story. Okay. And from where we're at right now, are there any windows on the second story that we see?
No.
Okay.
So, Nissa, are you checking for traps?
I will do, yes. What am I rolling?
Investigation.
Investigation? Not great. 13.
13? You search the window. No traps, but it's locked.
May I pull out my thieves' tools and try and unlock it?
You may go ahead and roll a Thieves' Tools check, which would be dexterity, plus I think you took expertise in that, so double
I did.
proficiency.
Okay.
Double proficiency.
Oh no, it's bad. It's 9.
So,
It's
going up to the
9.
window, you put the Thieves' Tool in, start to fiddle around with it. it's not coming undone, and start to shake at the window slightly as you're trying to fiddle with this lock, but to no avail.
I crack my knuckles a bit. So, how about I give it a go?
She's gonna look at you like slightly annoyed and she'll be like, sure, fine.
You see all of
Go
my
for it.
eyes roll. All of them.
Go ahead, roll a dexterity plus proficiency.
19?
So, Leuven kind of comes up, excited to help out, pulls out the thieves' tools, takes a couple of minutes, and click.
Eureka!
This is
It's
giving you
unlocked.
daggers.
Literally, or
No, just with her eyes. Just for the moment. Just with her eyes.
just for the
For
moment?
the moment.
For the moment.
All right. Window seems unlocked.
So, maybe what I should do is throw in this fancy vial I made and see what comes out.
How about I just climb in and check first?
That.
Sure.
So as you say
Fine.
climb in, I'm gonna tap you on the leg and then point to me and all my mini legs. Like, trying to gesture that climbing. Hey.
Tell you what, you get the ceiling, I'll get the floor. We'll see who finds something first.
So if I had thumbs, it would be a thumbs up. Instead, you just
You
get
kind
like,
of gesture with one leg, like up and down.
like a little fist pump. Boop, boop. And then I'm gonna climb in through the window and go to the ceiling.
You're climbing into the house or up to the house?
I'm gonna climb in through the window, but then go up to the ceiling of whatever room we climb into.
Okay. And that is where we're going to be leaving the Rumble Squad for now. We'll be having part 2 up for you soon enough, in which the Rumble Squad explores the mysterious house and tries to determine the creature that lies within. So thank you for listening today. Don't forget you can always message us on Twitter at rulesaswritten or email me directly at dm@dndraw.com. Please feel free to check out our podcast and leave us a review on iTunes or leave a comment and check us out on Podbean, Google Play, or Stitcher. And we hope to see you soon in the world of Ostia.